Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in to my new booktube channel. I am back and running with this and hopeful that you will join me and join this community. If you're not subscribed already, go ahead and do that now. If you are subscribed, hit the notification bell. I'm going to try to work out a schedule of when I will post content. For now, I'm doing a full rush of content because I have lots of ideas right now. So today I'm going to do my January wrap up, and January was a really great month for me for reading. I read a total of 16 books and they were pretty good books. I rated a couple of 5 stars and yeah, really good about that. I feel really good about that. So this month I watched a video by Bookish Knitter that talked about a reading spreadsheet that she uses, and she got it from somebody else, so I'm not going to like copy paste, but I started thinking about doing this too because I've been thinking about ways to track books in different ways. I always use Goodreads. I know some people have feelings about Goodreads, but I really like it. And then I started adding to Storygraph because at the end of last year, everybody had these bomb graphs about like what they read, what was typical for them, and I was like, that's really good information to know. So I'm also putting things there. Then I thought about starting a Notion just to like list the books that I want to read and what's going on, but like honestly, I can't figure it out, and I don't know if it's an age thing or what, but I just can't figure it out. So I decided to do this spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet basically has you list the books that you're reading, title, author, and then you kind of rate different parts of the book, like the characters, the setting, the writing, the plot. Would you recommend it? Overall, the genre, like where does it fall within this type of genre, the enjoyment, your star rating. And so I am also doing that, but I am going to share with you the books that I have read in the month of January, and I'm hopeful to put the book titles somewhere here if I can, depending on schedule for getting all of this put out to you guys. So, all right, so I read, like I said, 16 books in January, and like I said, it was a very good month. So the first book that I read in the month was Happenstance. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my computer too. Happenstance by Tessa Bailey. This is a romance novel. I'm not doing summaries of the books, but I will put them on the screen or link down below so that you can take a look at them. It is a romance. Tessa Bailey sometimes writes spicy novels. I ended up giving it a 3. It was mid. Next up, I read a Sweet Valley High book, Rockstar's Girl by Francine Pascal. That one was pretty good. It was Jessica at her finest of being a horrible person, per usual. I gave it a 4 star. Next, I read One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle. She's becoming one of my new favorite authors. I love the way that she incorporates timeline jumping in her books in a non-confusing way. So One Italian Summer has been good. I also read In 5 Years, which was really good. And this got 5 stars from me. Very good. I'm not anti 5 stars, so like you might see quite a few of 5-star reads from me. I'm okay with 5 stars. All right, next I read Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. Again, I read the prequel in December after attempting to read Throne of Glass and being utterly confused and not wanting to give up on it. Reading the prequel really helped me understand the characters and like how we were going into Throne of Glass. I gave that 4 stars. Next, I read The Charm Offensive by Allison Cochran. This is a male-to-male romance. It's my first male-to-male romance that I've read. It was okay. I gave it a 2 star, which feels kind of low right now, but it really wasn't great. The character development was not the best for me. And I really wanted like more to be happening. It was very slow paced. Next I read When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I've been wanting to read Sarah Adams' The Cheat Sheet, but it's always out, and I don't want to buy it. And so I picked up When in Rome, and it was okay. Again, I kind of hit like a midway of like, oh my goodness, these books are not the best. And that was a 3.5 stars. Next, I read Read and Gone by Alison Brooke. This is a cozy mystery. It's part of a library series. And I read the first one in October when I read like a scary, haunted, cozy mystery style books. But this one just didn't hit. 2 stars. Next up, I read The Perfect Girl by Francine Pascal. Again, this was another, like, I've read several books that are low star rated. Let me find something that's good. This one was like, I don't even know what to say. In Street Valley's world, right, new girls are tortured and bullied. Weight is brought up and is an issue, and like people have serious issues. And it was written in the 80s and early 90s. So in The Perfect Girl, the main character has struggled with weight, and she starts dating somebody who ultimately moves out of the city for college, and starts working with a girl on a project. So the girl in Sweet Valley feels jealous, and she thinks maybe she's gained weight. And so she goes on this extreme diet, and nobody recognizes what's going on. Like, not even her mom. And as a mom, like, you're watching for stuff. The mom had no idea this chick was not eating. So trigger warnings, but I gave it a 4 star. Next up, I read Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the 3rd book, or 2nd if you don't read the prequel, in the Throne of Glass series. Again, it was solid. I gave it 4.5 stars. I thought it was better than Throne of Glass. Next, I read Twisted Hate, which has been on my watch for a while, on my radar. It is on Kindle Unlimited. It's by Anna Huang, and it was racy and repetitive. I gave it 3.5 stars. Next up, I read The Reunion. So I did just post, or will post, a video about my books that I want to read in February, and I mentioned Book of the Month, and I said I didn't read my January pick, but I actually did, because I read The Reunion by Kayla Olson. This was really good. I gave it 4 stars. It was all about a reboot of a TV show about some teens, like your typical Now to a No type show, and they reboot it, and romance ensues and drama with the lead stars, the male and the female lead stars of the show, as now they're adults. Then I read another cozy mystery, Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson. I read this book on my Kobo, which I'm trying to get more use out of, but I did not enjoy it. It's the first in series. I gave it 2 stars, and I was shocked, dismayed, confused. It just wasn't well written. I didn't like the style of writing at all. Next up, I read Claudia and the World's Cutest Baby, and that was by Ann M. Martin. I gave this book 4 stars. I usually give Babysitters Club books, Sweet Valley High books, a minimum of 3 stars, because if I'm coming back to them 20 plus years later, they must be good. So I gave this one 4 stars because it was really good. I do prefer Claudia and Stacy books in the Babysitters Club universe. In this book, though, Claudia was super annoying. Like, she just was overbearing and know-it-all, and that doesn't really feel like her. As I've gotten more into like the backstory of Babysitters Club, I know that many of these books were ghost-written and not actually written by Ann M. Martin. However, Claudia's character was really off from what we know her to be. And then next I read By a Thread by Lucy Score, which I have talked about several times now, but I gave this book 5 stars. I loved this book. It had been on my radar, but I had a very strict feeling about romance books that are over 500 pages, because why in the world? Like, you love each other, you don't, let it go. But this book was so good. I devoured it in like 2 days, and she's changed my mind on the 500-page book for romance. So I'm definitely going to read another book from her, but her writing style was really good. So I felt good about coming back with a 5-star there. Then I listened to Return to Shelter Beach. It was on Audible Plus. So I have Audible. Audible Plus gives you some of those originals that are free. I love the originals that are acted out, and they have a whole ensemble cast, and you could hear things happening in the background, whether it's the phone ringing or waves crashing. And I don't know if I was too preoccupied while listening, but it just didn't capture my attention. It moves really slowly. I usually listen to my audiobooks at like 2 times speed, and it was 2 times speed, and it still felt like forever. So I gave it 2 stars. The last book that I read in January, I was really happy to read. It was called Set on You. I borrowed it from the library. It's by Amy Lee, And I have another book of hers that I plan to read, X's and O's. And that book made me think I should read Sun on You first, whatever. So anyway, I read it. It was so good. I mean, like, across the board, I gave it 10. Character development, the writing style, the plot, what I recommended, the genre, like everything was a 10. So well written. And it's really about a curvy fitness influencer who starts dating a guy at the gym, and their families are connected. They didn't know that. Anyway, it's really good. I think you should read it. So yeah. So those are the books that I read in January. Again, I read 16 books in total. I had 3 5-star reads, and yeah, I'm trying to see if I can figure out how many pages did I read. A good amount. So it was a good reading month for me. Like I said, it was a lot of books. I don't always read that many books. I try to read 10 a month at a minimum and hover around that 12, 13, 14 stage of books because that's what works for me. That's what I can do. I think one time last year I read 20 books in a month, but that was like chaos. So I like to stay around the 12, 13, 14 range. So this was a really great month for me. Comment down below what you read in January. What was a highlight? Have you read any of the books that I read in January? I'd love to hear about it. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share my channel as I am a new and up-and-coming booktuber in a very saturated market, but I'm interested in sharing my love of books with you. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.